Okay, so we're going to take a look at the STR Goku and Vegeta that fuse into VEGITO on the trio team. They do only get the 170 lead from him, from the Super Saiyan's leader skill. They're not on Connected Hope or Movie Heroes. So, whilst they're getting the slightly lower leader skill, the percentage, like 77% for 2 turns support from the trio, should hopefully be very good for him. I mean, the thing is with VEGITO, if we can get the fusion into VEGITO, of course, which is kind of the main thing we want to see. The thing with VEGITO is, even now in most of the difficult content, like when you fuse into Super VEGITO, he is still able to tank normals for double digits for the most part anyway. So realistically, they're not going to be doing a huge amount for him in that department, but he does have that little bit of damage reduction, so the higher base defense he has, the tougher he's going to be. I mean, it's one of those things where in certain situations, like against Beast, with like rotation locking and stuff like that, there might be a time when he has to eat a super and you can't do anything about it unless you use an item. So having all that extra defense from the double trio would obviously be very helpful. But I do normally try out a lot of, well, we've been doing so far anyway for pretty much all of these, testing out units on the trio team videos, testing out the Blue Gogeta event. Is it 60 versus a super? I thought he had less. No, he has less versus a super, doesn't he? He has more versus normals. Doesn't it? I thought it was he has like 30% damage reduction and then he gets an extra 30% from normals or something. Let's have a look. So obviously in base, these guys can get extra attacks. They have 30% damage reduction, get extra ki per ki sphere, can do additional attacks, and then fuse into VEGITO. So let's see, yeah, reduce damage received by 30% plus an additional damage reduction of 30% for normal attacks, yeah. Yeah, because that's the whole point, right? Is he's meant to have good reduction versus normals, because then he tanks them all and then counters. But supers is kind of like his weakness. But then obviously you can, well, really? It's very rare that we don't get the support for Bulma. But yeah, the supers are supposed to be his weakness, but then of course that's counteracted by the fact that he has a scouter, so. But honestly, the biggest problem with these teams, or with characters that have these like HP restrictions, is that on a lot of these top tier teams now, it becomes a lot more difficult to actually lose a decent amount of health. Like theirs isn't a huge, at least theirs isn't 50, right? It's only 77%, but I could definitely see situations where it'll be difficult. I mean, God Goku kind of helps us out in that department, because him actually taking some hits. Yeah, we can't get 6 orbs, I was going to say, because if I could get 6 orbs for him, I'd put him in slot 1, because then if he eats some hits, at least he's guarding. Do that. Just do that, I guess. Yeah, that's why I think a lot of people have said that. I think even the, like, on the private server thing, they made an item that does that, but an item that makes you lose some HP would actually be really useful for some of these characters. So you could like force actually seeing those transformations. Especially think about like the AGL Blue Boys. Everybody hates their condition, right, from last year's Worldwide Celebration. Because if you get to a certain turn and you just can't fuse into VEGITO, they can just get you killed. So then if you had an item that you can just use it and you lose some HP, and then all of a sudden you can fuse. Like, significantly better. Yeah, exactly. In top tier teams, it's either death or you take double digits. You're either getting one shot because you're taking over 1,000,000 damage, or you're taking double digit damage. Or, of course, you're God Goku and you don't dodge and you get hit for 1,000,000. So, alright, so 270 start of turn. We had him on turn 2 again, but this time at least it's with the double trio having been on the first turn, so they've got a lot of support. That's the thing to remember as well, again, is that these guys only get the 170 lead from the trio. They are stacking with each of their supers, so the more they do, obviously the better. We're starting out decently well here. Okay, nice. Just 6.5. I mean, their damage isn't crazy, but I mean, they did 4 supers, so it's still like 24, around 20 to 24 million in total. Which, if you think about, like, in LR Broly, the new one, like, his first turn attack stat, like, I've seen him do like 18, 19 million, and he just does that one attack. So I think people pick out a lot, like, if a character's only doing, like especially less than 10 million attack stat on a super, but then don't factor in that they could be doing, like, 4 or 5 supers in one turn. Of course, you know, some of the craziest units are doing, like, 20 odd mil and doing 4 or 5 supers in a turn. But yeah, in order to get the fusion into VEGITO, we will probably need God Goku to take some hits, but as we saw previously, especially if he doesn't have the guard up, that's not ideal for him. Just like deliberately trying not to get same type orbs, although we're basically on full health at the moment anyway, so picking them up on this turn, it wouldn't have really mattered. Also, they're on incredibly low health, so God Goku probably just kills them anyway. Yeah, he does, because we've got 6 orbs, so he gets an additional. But yeah, this is always going to be the issue with these good units, where these units on good teams that require you to be on a certain amount of HP, is that sometimes it's just too difficult to achieve that. And we could do this. I wonder how much damage they would take from... Because they obviously get more defense the more ki they have. But... they still take double-digit damage from a normal. Okay, well, we took some damage now. Jeez. And that's the problem. You kind of have to, like, play a bit dangerously to try and get the to get these things. I'm not sure now how much, like, I mean, depending on how many supers they do, I don't know how well the STR Vegeta and Goku will tank. Although we did lower his attack with the additionals, I guess. So yeah, suffering from some success. True. I mean, they're getting all their supers off here again, so... and then they get the dodge, nice. Didn't even need to worry about it. And then, yeah, future Gohan will be fine. So basically, I just need to survive the next turn, but whilst also not healing too much. And then we can get the Super VEGITO fusion. Yeah, I was going to say, that won't heal too much from Bulma. Plus the friend is Rainbow. And then 24 key with the Bulma support. So there you go. We should... There shouldn't really be anything able to go horribly wrong here. The trio should finish off Gogeta. Yeah, that's what I mean. His health was too low, really, for there to have been a huge issue. Now, always remember, if you are running these guys on the same team, just like the Super Saiyans team or something like that, always remember to transform with Vegito first. Because if you fuse with Gogeta, he gives that 54% heal. And he gives it at the start of his next turn as well. So that can stop you from getting the Vegito fusion. Yeah, Super Delito. Alright, so where's the supers? Because obviously this guy can super multiple times. But he's not going to. Okay. So... It's a shame we can't have you in the middle though, really. But... Alright, so remember, once we fused, we, on the 18 key super, greatly raise attack and defense for one turn. Yeah, get the 4 HP, get the Scouter, gonna counter with crits. And yeah, you get an extra buff and the Scouter for multiple turns. So, I guess we might as well use this. I don't know if we'll get an opportunity for him to be back on rotation again to use the target ability, but... Alright, well, there we go. So... 11 million, okay. Because remember, Vegito's real power isn't from his attacks, right? Like, a lot of, like, you can't see him doing 11 million attack stat and be like, oh, that's not very high. Because this is where all the damage comes from. Getting all the counters. Now, obviously, crits are, there we go, the most beneficial. Just doing like 500,000 extra damage per crit counter. And he's attacking a lot of times in slot 1. Plus, yeah, the Scouter ability is insane utility, right? Because, I mean, that can be the difference between you losing a run and not losing. Because if you put a unit in the wrong spot and they get hit by a super, you die. So, having the ability to just see where the super attacks are for 10 turns. He doesn't even need to be on rotation, right? It's just 10 turns from when you fuse. Plus, the fusing gives you a full heal, which obviously, you know, you have to be on lower HP to get the fusion. So I do like the way those abilities work. It's annoying when characters like Vegito Blue, in fact, for the Worldwide Blue Boys, like their active skill requires you to be on lower HP, but then they don't heal. So if you're on really, really low health when you get the fusion with them, they fuse into Vegito Blue, but you're still on really, really low health. So depending on the situation, you could still end up getting killed that turn. Not necessarily with Vegito himself, because if you are on low health, you can use his active skill straight away when he transforms and he has a 100% chance to dodge, but it depends what the rest of the rotation is. But yeah, the fact that his Scouter lasts for 10 turns, like, by the time you get him to transform, most events now, that's going to be, you just have the Scouter for the whole of the rest of the event. So... God, this rotation is not good. I need to use your active skill, because otherwise you're just going to get clapped by the AoE. Is he AoEing before he supers? Okay, he is. I think we should be okay then. Alright. Yeah, look at all of those attacks in slot 1. Like, almost every single attack of the turn is in slot 1, except for that one at the very end. Like, that's ridiculous. At least he is super. At least he's AoEing before he supers, because otherwise we could be in for some crazy damage. Yeah, Gogeta Blue is such a lottery. So random. Same day Vegeta, I think usually the same day unit returns for the first time around October. So yeah, I mean the Scouter, it's funny because we were talking about how useful the Scouter is, but in this rotation it kind of doesn't matter because it's like all of the attacks are in slot 1. So what a surprise that the Super is in slot 1. I mean, it could have been that one lonely attack right at the very end, but I think I would say on this turn specifically, I didn't really need a Scouter to guess that the Super was going to be there. They dodged the Super as well. That's great. Now, the only thing is going to be... don't do too much damage, future Gohan. Now, the problem is next turn... I guess we could just use the standby. I was going to say, because depending what the attack pattern is for the next turn, we don't really want to put VEGITO in front of Supers. So if he was doing a similar attack pattern to this previous turn, we don't really want to put VEGITO in slot 1. I guess it depends where the normal attacks are, though. Because obviously if he was going to Super in slot 1, but he's doing a bunch of normal attacks first, then obviously we just get the counters on those, and then it's fine. But... okay, so... yeah, so he's supering... he's doing 2 attacks first. So, I mean, in theory, VEGITO should kill him, but what we can do here... so look at that, he has 880k defense because of all the support, but what we can do is if we do this... there's a lot of int orbs on the field, yeah, so you're now getting... 17, if we do it this way, it's 17 orbs, but 16 of them are physical. Which means they're giving a bigger buff than if they weren't transformed. Yeah, so he now has 1 million defense. But obviously the trio, now that they're in their standby, can't attack. So... well, you know what, let's do this, why not? Just buff up Vegito's power even more. I mean, VEGITO might actually just kill with his super attack now, but... because, yeah, with Bulma's active use, with Bulma's orbs picked up as well, it means he's even higher past 1 million defense now. And 60% damage reduction against normals, so... he's not taking damage here. Yeah, 12 mil. I mean, again, his like singular attack stat's not crazy, but that's not what he's here for. So should finish him off with these. I guess it depends if we get crits, and of course the classic, you know, if you dodge with a counter unit, you still get the counter. And there's the crit, so that's all she wrote. Oh no, you need to finish with a super attack. So his counters are able to whittle him down to being on 1 HP. And then Bulma can come in and actually finish him off. It's kind of funny. Alright, well there you go. So that was the STR Goku and Vegeta on the trio team. They're definitely very good on the team because they are still a solid unit. The biggest problem with them is obviously the just actually being able to lose enough HP so that you can get the fusion. But as long as you can do that, then obviously they can be very good. So let me know what you guys think of them down below in the comment section. As we've moved into part 2, we haven't been doing as many of the, like, using different units on the trio team videos. But if there are any specific units that you guys still want to see on these teams, do let me know down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.